now we're doing week 2 of the front headlock or the guillotine attack position. So now we're going to go off of when he's sitting on his butt and enter into the same kind of position. So when he's on his butt in an open guard, either I can be grabbing his feet and start attacking his feet, or he can tuck his feet in and sit his head forward to where his head is more forward, and now I'm going to attack his head. So those are kind of my options when I'm passing. And I can set that up too, when I attack his feet and then he sits in, now his head is far enough in to where I can attack. So whenever his head is lower than my armpit, I can attack the front headlock. So if we were in attacking, I can pull his head down just enough and then scoop over it with my shoulder and grab his chin. And then I can grab his arm. And so I could attack my guillotines right here. High-wristed or low-wristed guillotines can get attacked right here, or I can use it to drive past his guard. So I could scooch him down, drive past his guard, and then start attacking the same thing from passing a guard position. So we're here, loop, I'm in my front headlock position now. If he drove forward from this, we're in our position. So it's up to him whether he drives forward into it or he stays where he's at and I have to drive him down. So here, just pushed it down, scoop over the top, we're here. Either I can drive him down or he can drive up, and now we're in our front headlock position, ready to attack. And so now the last way that we can enter this position is from a half guard position. So we're in our normal attacks, so he's trying to pass, whatever, and Brandon's really driving up on his side, which is what he should be doing. Anytime his head gets lower than my shoulder, I can loop over the top to grab the chin, tuck it, and then now we're in that same front headlock position. I could start attacking my guillotine here, or I can use this to help me drive him down, pass, and then be attacking the same thing from a mount or from a passed position. He could also, like if I have scooped it, he has the option, if I'm light on him, to just try to drive up into me just like before, back up into the front headlock position from the turtle. So either I can use it again to drive past his guard, or he drives up and I get him back into the turtle front headlock position. Okay, so now we're going to go to the arm-in guillotine off of the same attack, off the high-wrist attack. So we were in here, and I got my high-wrist position, and maybe this time, while I was trying to grab, Brandon lifted that arm up, and so his arm is up and in the way, and I can't get my own wrist now. So I'm going to grab over the top, and I'm going to be cupping. So I'm cupping underneath my own wrist like this, in the same kind of position, here and here. And so now this finish is the same as it was before, where I tuck in here, and if I can, flip the foot over, and then I sit back, squeezing to get my tap. So one more time. Here, high wrist, he went over, so I went over his arm, and I grab my own wrist and squeeze in, sit in, put over, and then if I do get there and he's not tapped, I can squeeze and kick my legs out more to get the finish. Okay, now we're going to attack the darce. So the darce is, my outside arm is going to be shooting deep this time. So this whole time for the guillotines, our other neck arm shoots in. This time, our outside arm shoots in. And then I'm going to grab my hands together, and I want to tuck his head in, and I'm going to bump him over before I try to do any attacks. I just keep him hugged in tight to me, and I'm going to bump him over to where he's on his side now. And so now, it kind of depends on your arm length on where you're going to go with the darce. So if I can get my hand comfortably to the other side of his head, I can lock up my arms in like a rear naked grip, cup over his arm, and then I'm going to drop my chest down into him to finish. Rather than trying to lift up with this squeeze, that's going to just be a kind of a neck breaker where it's going up into his vertebrae. Hopefully squeezing down, just holding it and squeezing down with my chest is going to close this up and be more of a choke on both sides rather than breaking his neck. So we're here, outside arm is going to shoot in, and I'm going to grab my hands together and then keep him tight to close to me. I'll tuck his head down and I'll bump him over with my shoulder here. And now it can be a turn action on there. Which way? That way. If he is too big or if my arms are too short and I just have my hands together, I'm going to tuck his head in to where his chest is in, or chin is tucked to his chest. I'll get his arm right at my sternum, and then I can squeeze down on it just the same way, where I'm squeezing with my chest down and holding this side, not lifting up hard into this side to get the same Darce choke. So this one and this one are doing the same thing, where I'm squeezing down his arm into it to get the tap. Okay? Those two are the two grips off of the Darce from here.